Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome to Social Media and AI Shortcuts. It's our little weekly hangout we do here every week on the socials. I'm Madeline Sklar, and today we're going to do like we always do. We're going to dive into just tools and tactics and have awesome conversations that help creators work smarter, not harder. That's what I'm all about, helping people in our community. We're going to spend some time first diving into the new ChatGPT Agent that you may have heard about from OpenAI. They just released it literally last week while I was hosting this live stream, and we were here a week ago at this time chatting. Literally, they released it. So I finally just got access because I'm a plus subscriber, the $20 a month subscriber, and they first gave it out to the pro users, but I finally got it. I haven't played with it yet, but we're going to talk about it because it sounds like it's revolutionary. And so we're going to go over that just to get a better understanding about what it's all about. And we got other items on the agenda today that I think you'll find helpful. We always have interesting conversations here with our community. And for those watching live, always chime in with your questions, your thoughts. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Madeline. I've been teaching social media and digital marketing for a very long time, for decades. And I'm all about helping you make smart, simple moves with your AI and social media to help you grow your presence, because we always want to have a larger presence out there, right? So by working together as a group, I always feel like we could do more and do it in a way where we don't get overwhelmed. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. There's just too many things out there. So anyway, I'm going to bring up all of our guests that are here with us today. And there's Maria. Maria just made it too. Hi, everybody. We've got Barb, Rachel, and Maria. Always great seeing y'all here. Oh, wait, I think somebody, oh, there's Bez. Let me bring him up. Okay.
We got to have the guy in the mix.
We sure do. How are y'all doing today?
Hi. Great. Good to see you guys.
It's always great hanging out with y'all each week. And we have such a great community here. Interesting discussions. I love hearing everybody's inputs on things. What's that, Bez? What you got?
Well, got featured in the good old, high-tech paper. It's called the local paper.
And good for you.
Yeah, we started a 1 million cups, and it is the third time I've gotten them to write something about us, and we started in March. So sometimes you think low tech don't work. I asked people when they came there yesterday, hey, how'd you hear about this? It's like in the paper and also on Facebook. So yeah, paper still works.
Real paper.
Paper works.
Awesome.
We only get it in my rural community once a week. It's not
no.
But when you get
you're featured. When you get featured, it's the best thing in the world. That's awesome. Congrats to you, Bez. That's very great news.
Hey, this is a Gen X boomer space, so we got to talk about some of this.
Exactly. Well, congrats to you. That's so awesome to hear. Great to see everybody. Jim Fusion's here with us. Good to see you, Jim. I mean, Jim from Fusion Marketing, Jim Fuse. Anyway, Jim was from my old Twitter Smarter community back when we had the old school Twitter chat that y'all all know about, because that's how I met you all back in the day. And Jim was one of our longtime greeters. We had a whole group of greeters that hung out and made everybody feel welcome, because our Twitter chat was so big, I couldn't possibly say hi to everybody, and I like to make everybody feel welcome at the start. So Jim was part of this awesome group that did that. So Jim, good to see. And I saw that you just joined our Skool community, so thank you for joining that. Great seeing everybody in the chat here. Kratom Butterfly, this Venus says, congrats to you, Bez. It's just exciting news. Always great hearing hey, so, and I got news. So my big news, maybe we should all go around the room, everybody share their big news in the past week. So, I talk about my other project I do, my Kratom Stories podcast, and I have like all my social media with that. And I've really been working the YouTube for that, working it really hard. I have a weekly live stream. I've got the podcast, and I'm doing, the podcast has a video version that's on there. And then I take a lot of my TikToks videos and put them up as YouTube shorts. And I've been watching the stats, but the one stat I didn't pay attention to that I just can't believe, me as somebody that teaches this stuff, I wasn't paying attention to the lifetime views. Now, I just reached 1,000 subscribers recently, and it's very hard. That's so hard, y'all. That's always, y'all know how it is with any social media. That first 1,000, 2,000 is always the hardest, and then that first 10,000. But every time you reach one of those milestones, everything gets easier. And I've actually noticed it's been better since I hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, I wasn't paying attention to lifetime views. And I know I've been getting lots of views because of all the, not like huge, nothing's gone viral or anything, but it's consistency. And I've been preaching this for decades. Consistency works. And so I've been putting a lot of consistent effort into the YouTube channel since the beginning of the year. And all of a sudden, because I've been using vidIQ, and I showed y'all how I was doing the thumbnail thing last week using vidIQ, and I get a notification from them that says, you have 100,000 views on your channel. And I'm like, what? I mean, I realized I had gotten up to about 20,000 views a month recently. So I knew it was adding up, but I just didn't look at lifetime. So first I thought it was spam. I really did. I thought, this isn't real, because they made like this nice JPEG for you to go promote. I was really excited. And I was like, this is a really cool milestone. So I'm going to share this out to the community. It just really shows that hard work can really pay off, but consistency. Thanks, Bez. I love that.
That's so fantastic. Can I add something real quick? Because we were talking yesterday in a different conversation, obviously, about humble bragging.
Yeah.
And, and just like what Bez said about the newspaper, if you're a big fish in a small pond, who cares? It feels the same as anywhere else you are. And it's amazing, yes, to get that kudos even well after the fact, after you create content that's there for a while, and then you get feedback or the numbers jump up like that. That is so great, Madeline. I'm so proud of you. And the other day, by the way, in a different conversation about food, and I'm going to talk about food in a second during this conversation probably, but kratom came up. So really? I'm gonna send you a message, because I have some people that are interested in that topic, that we could do something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but yes, don't ever worry about telling people how great you are. for everybody listening right here.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because we're all great. We're all great.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, I'm a little fish in a small pond, and but what makes it special is people are showing up for each other, because it's a meetup for entrepreneurs, and people are like, oh, there was nothing on Main Street or anything about this, and people like come week after week and say, this is the meeting I look forward. I love that we're inviting, everybody's welcoming. We get to know each other. We get to go out there and present and talk about our businesses. And I was like, yeah, this is for you guys. This is not for anybody organizing, because we're volunteers, and we hope to cycle out and get you guys to lead the organizing one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a really good vibe. So I recommend, go out there, give of yourself. Don't charge, because actually it's not even our chapter. It belongs to 1 million cups.
That's amazing. Let me say something else too. I'm so sorry, but the Facebook community that I have for podcasters, it's like, I've mentioned it before, it's like almost 30,000 people in there. I have not had the time to pay attention to it very much lately. And somebody just sent me a DM yesterday, Maria, what's going on in the community, and how much they value it, and they want to be more active in it. Because, when you have a community, it does rely a lot on the energy of the admin. And I love what Bez just said, because any type of community, it's for the members. It's a service, an act of service leadership, right? And once the community realizes that, in fact, the community, I made it private now instead of public. I thought everyone wanted to market themselves, but they don't. They really want to talk to each other and learn. So it's really important to set aside that notion that everyone's jumping up and down trying to self-promote in every conversation, because that's not true of everybody. There are connections being made and people learning. So I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Rachel, do you have any thoughts to share on? We're talking about all kinds of things here. Anything to add in? Oh, you're muted though.
Sorry, I had to get back to it. I'm just reading all of the messages that everybody has for you. I love that we're so genuinely excited for you, Madeline, because, you
Thank
know, a
you.
lot of times people think, oh, well, I could do that, or I have that many. Not that I do, but a lot of people will take that personally in some way and think that it's somehow a slam on them when it's not. And that's what I think people have this issue with the humble brag. And I agree with what Maria was saying. If you did the thing, share the thing, right? Whatever
Yeah.
that thing may be. So I find this personally very motivating. Like, maybe I should be doing that, but let me learn more about it. And I know where to go because I can learn from all of you. So I really appreciate everyone can be part of this group too. That's what I love about it. It's not like
Absolutely.
you've never
Absolutely.
said, well, if you don't use Kratom, you can't be part of social AI, or
Yeah.
you're just very inclusive. And I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much. That's how I've always run all of my communities going back to the 90s. And thank you for the nice comments, Jim and Christopher. And by the way, for our community members that are tuning in, if you're part of our Skool community, Skool is the extension of this and it's free to join. Then you're eligible to come hang out on screen with us. I know not everybody wants to come do that, which is fine. But like Jim, Christopher, Venus, anytime any of y'all want to come be on screen doing this, you know who does that? This I think is so cool. So y'all may remember there was Don Lemon from CNN years ago, and he got fired and just off doing his own thing. And then about a year and a half ago, he decided to just be an independent journalist and launch a YouTube channel. And it has grown tremendously. I've watched him grow this. And he is utilizing the community feature in YouTube, and he has the different tiers. The highest tier, which I think is $50 a month, about once a week, he lets anybody from that group come join him he does a live stream twice a day. He does Monday through Friday. He does a morning one and an afternoon one. Yeah. He does one at, it's 9 a.m. my time, so it's 10 a.m. Eastern. And then the other one is, I think 4 o'clock my time, so it's 5 o'clock Eastern. I don't really have time to watch it a whole lot, but when I've watched it, about once a week, and he's using StreamYard like I'm using here. And he will have the whole group of people. And it started off just being a few people. And I've watched it grow. And they can come on and be part of the discussion with him when he's talking about the latest news. And I love when I see people do that, because being inclusive, I think, is so important. That's what fosters community. So you're muted, Maria.
Yes. Well, also it reminds people that you don't have to be a tech guru. It doesn't matter whether you have a fancy mic or not. Right. Your intelligence and your contribution to the conversation, to the posts, whatever it may be, is valuable. And also a lot of people aren't comfortable being on video or being on the mic, but just sharing the information and the group to their friends is a huge part of the energy that makes the community too. Even participation in what may seem like the back shadows is fine. Don't feel bad don't feel pressured. It's okay to eavesdrop. It's okay to participate when you can. The worst kind of communities I find are the ones everybody respond over and over and over. And people can have anxiety over guilt and shame for not participating in a community. And that's definitely not how I run mine. It's a different vibe.
Most people are lurkers.
Yes. And that's really, okay.
Yeah. Usually the active people in any community is usually like a 10% level. Like it's usually a very small percent. So for anybody that's starting a community, just understand you're always going to have a much smaller group that are the super active. I've been in so many different online communities forever. And there's one that I've been in for about a year now. They moved over to Skool. I was in it before that, but then they moved it to Skool. They're coming up on their 1-year anniversary. And I just remember watching it grow. They grew the membership, but it was always like the same people, that are in the comments chatting and connecting and doing the discussions. But you have plenty of people that are lurkers, especially like somebody like me. I'm super busy. I don't have time to be I like to be in some specific communities, but just really go in there to see what's being discussed, chime in with comments when I have time, but I'm not one of
Or
those
listen to replays.
or
Watch it later, right?
Yes,
That's okay. So many people come
absolutely.
to gratitude spaces and they're apologizing that they've missed a few. And I'm like, no, there's no pressure. Come when you can or listen to the replay. It's fine. Yeah, it's all good.
Absolutely. I love replays. 'Cause
Yeah.
then it's on your time schedule. So
And there's no pressure to participate, actually. Sometimes on the replay, I'm like, I can just do my walk and listen. Yeah.
exactly. Bez, you want to tell us real quick about your thing you've got going on here? I got it. I'm going to pull up the website.
Yes. There's no events on there yet, but subscribe to the calendar. I am loading up. I'm running a 4-week career sprint in August, and it's complimentary. It's for the good of the people, and for and it's just a free service I'm going to be providing. I'll run it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 in the morning Eastern time. We'll come in for an hour, and hopefully you'll be better because of it. So I know there's a lot of people out there hurting, needing some help. And I will be introducing a bot that I made to help them in their career search, probably during that first week. So come one, come all, let's make your job search a little bit easier, and network with some folks. You might be in the room with somebody that could use your skills. So come on in.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Let's move along to some of our other things. Hello, Lynn. Thank you for joining us. We just love I love how we're right now on so many different social media platforms, thanks to our group here. We're on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Facebook, on all of or most of our social media here now I don't know. Is everybody, I know, Barb is added social media, Rachel, Maria. Oh, Maria, yeah, we've talked.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know.
I'm tech challenged in that department.
It's totally okay. It's totally okay. I like it for this chat because it just broadens, to show more interest to other people that don't know about this, in the overall community. But yeah, I just love that we're all over the place. But real quick, we also have our Skool platform, Skool, Skool, and that is where we can continue our discussions outside of this once a week, 1 hour discussion. So it's really cool. I love Skool. To me, it's way better than Facebook groups. And we've been having some really lively discussions in here. Rachel is going to share some things that she's been posting in here that I think our community on this live stream would want to hear about. So we're going to be doing that in just a bit.
Can I ask you a question specifically about Skool while you have it up there
Absolutely.
on the screen?
Absolutely.
I finally figured out how to sign up. So I did it on my phone. I have the Skool app on my iPhone.
Nice.
But I can also access it on a desktop if I want to?
Yes.
Okay. So, but the only way to sign up was through my phone?
No. So
okay, explain, please. Yes.
You're able to sign. So the link is like I have on the screen, skool.com/Madeline Sklar, and it says Kool. So when you go to the website, if you go on desktop, you can just sign up on the desktop. If you're doing it on mobile, you have to actually go download their mobile app first. When you did it on mobile, did it just do it through your mobile's browser? That's probably what it did.
I downloaded the app.
I
did download the app to join.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so it made me set up an account and everything. But on my desktop, I had a hard time figuring it out. So I just did it on my phone. It's odd how certain devices.
I know the opposite. So.
And maybe it's my brain. I don't know. I'm different than most. So maybe somebody listening is different in my different way too. I don't know.
That is very interesting. Okay. Well, the Skool platform is great. I really like it. And you can do it on mobile. You can do it on desktop, whatever is easiest. You can go back and forth. And they've been adding new features. I talked recently about how they have for the creators that want to start one, they've only had this one type for forever, which is $99 a month. For you starting a community there for you as the owner of it, like this one, Social Media and AI Shortcuts. But now they've added another tier for $9 a month. And we talked about it here a few weeks ago. People can always go back to my YouTube channel and go look at the replay. I'm so glad they finally did that, because now that opens it up for people that maybe have a hobby and they want to start a community around that. And $99 a month, I mean, that's a big commitment, you know? So I'm glad they did that. They also recently made it so you can upload native video. And that was huge, because prior to that, if you wanted a video in your post or in your classroom section on the site, you had to just link to it from a YouTube or from a Loom or from Wistia. Like, you had to have it somewhere else and just put the link. And when you put the link, it would make it, you know, like the YouTube box or whatever, but it wasn't native uploading. And so, and I've been asking for this for so long. So now you can actually, from your phone, from your computer, just upload a video right in. So you don't have to go, because what I had to do prior to that, to this brand new feature, is, especially for my other community, my Kratom Real Talk community, I would have to go and upload it to YouTube. Like, I'd have a video on my phone or on my computer I wanted to share. I'd have to go upload it to YouTube, make it unlisted or private. No, I would make it unlisted, take that link, and then go put it in Skool. And it was like all these extra steps. And that really most people are not going to do all these extra steps. I did, but you're making it harder for people. So I'd been requesting it for a while, but now they had it so that you can do it for posts and a few other things, but it wasn't for the DMs yet. So they said they were working on it. So they just this week have launched the ability to do that in the DMs. Now, this is powerful, because let's say, you know, and actually I'm going to do an example of this with all of y'all, because y'all are all in the Skool community. So with y'all being on here, I want to make like a quick little DM video to each of y'all, thanking y'all for being on here. I think
Awesome.
Think of how, like, I like doing stuff like that. And there is nothing more powerful than sending a direct message to somebody and personalize it by it being audio or video. And y'all may remember when X had added the voice DMs years ago, where you can just do a quick little audio DM in there and just say something. I mean, I used it like crazy, because people will always remember you. I'm always teaching people to do little things, like do things that are memorable. Like the simplest thing when you're at events and, you know, you go take a picture with somebody, when you do your email to like follow up, attach that photo, because especially if it's somebody that's high profile, it's so hard to jog their memory of like, oh, I met so many, like it happens with me. I meet so many people at events. I can't possibly remember everybody, but that one person that does the follow-up and puts in the photo that they took of the two of us, it's like, oh, I know exactly who that was. Okay, cool. And it just changes the mindset of like, I know who I'm talking with, instead of, I don't remember who this person was. You know.
Can I ask one more question, by the way, while we're
Absolutely.
talking a little bit about Skool stuff too? I have a website that I haven't paid attention to in a very long time. And websites are more
static.
Yeah, that. And so it's a pain to update it and stuff. But I could, if I created a Skool community, I could put on the website, come find me here. And that would work, right? Because do you find value in websites too? That's a whole other conversation, I know. And a lot of people say you have to have a website. But are people really looking at the website, or are they looking for connection and activity and changing content?
I think people want connection and community. And that's why I think we're going to start seeing more platforms like Skool really evolve. They've already been doing it, but forever we all just rely on Facebook groups because it's free and everybody's on Facebook and we're all used to it. Now I started gravitating away from that a few years ago. You know, there's others, there's Skool, there's Circle, there's other ones where you have to pay to be the owner of your own, but you get all the control. You're not letting the tech bros do what they want. And I know right now everybody's really frustrated with Facebook, with how they've been doing things. And so, like, you know, we talked about it here.
And X.
Yeah. All of them. But recently we talked about here about how the Meta AI really messed up and took down all these huge AI Facebook groups. Like and these had hundreds of thousands of members. And one day, gone. And these people were freaking out. Well, it was a glitch. It got fixed, but it was a wake-up call. I was like, man, you're going to see an uptick in Skool and these other platforms, because something like that became a wake-up call for all these people that rely on these free communities for their business. And you realize, like, wait a minute, it's free for me to have this platform here on Facebook, but I've given up all the control. And who's to say that doesn't happen again? Or who's to say they don't come up with a whole set of new rules for my Kratom one? I already was using Skool. I mean, I set up my Skool at least a year and a half ago, maybe longer. But Facebook this year basically deleted every Kratom related Facebook group and page. And so I was so glad that I did not have my community on there. I had a Facebook page, but I wasn't putting a lot of effort into it because I really just don't like Facebook, but it's like these platforms can do what they want. They have all the control. So we have to remember that it's free to use, but we also get what we pay for. So also real quick, Jim's asking a question about Skool. He had the Skool. Hold on, let me get to the Skool question. Talking about native upload. Will that work with the new tier on Skool? Yes. That's huge. Yes, it will. What the founder of Skool, Sam Ovens, he does a weekly video he posts of like the latest with what what they've released and what they're working on. And when they released this a few weeks ago, he said, yes, it's going to be for all the tiers. You do have that ability to do native upload, which I think is huge. And by the way, this native upload for DMs that they just launched this week, I went and looked because I knew I had asked Sam Ovens about that, please add that feature. And I went and found the DM. I DM'd him back in April of last year, April of 2024. I found the DM where I was pleading with him, like, please make it so we have native video, especially in the DMs. Because at the time I was starting this new coaching group and I was trying, I was like, man, it'd be so much easier if Skool could do this for me. But it's like, okay, I guess what I need to do is maybe use Slack, but Slack wasn't 100% of what I wanted. Or I was looking at this other tool called Clarity Flow. And Clarity Flow was a little pricey, but it had some features Skool didn't have. So I would message Sam Ovens, please have these features. I would explain to him what I was trying to do. And I said, I don't want to go, I want to do it here. I don't want to also have this other tool. But, they get lots of requests. I'm just glad they finally have added it. So if anybody wants to go check out Skool and maybe start your own community, again, you can do this as low as $9 a month. It's a $9 a month plan or a $99 a month plan. There's not that big. The big difference really between these two tiers, if you want to start your own community on the platform, is when you're on the $9 a month plan, you don't get to have a custom URL. So like when you look at my URL is skool.com/Madeline Sklar. So you're just going to have the generic URL when you sign up. I'm pretty sure it's based on what I don't remember. I mean, I've had my 2 Skool accounts for so long now. I don't remember what it was before, because when you first create one, it'll give you like a skool.com/. I'm pretty sure it uses part of the name, but I think it has some other things in it. So if you don't care, because look, you can just do like a link shortener and go make your own, link to it. That if that doesn't really matter to you, to me, that was one of the bigger deals, is just, not having the custom. I'd have to go find like they had a list of things, but it wasn't that many things. So that's why I think the $9, if you actually go to their site, let me see. I think the link I just had up there will take you to, let me pull it up really quick. Bear with me for one moment, and I will show y'all.
And I didn't mean to sidetrack you. I know you have a lot of ChatGPT stuff to talk about.
It's all good. It's all good.
And while you're getting that set up, let me just tell you how proud I am of myself. This last week, I used Grok a little more. And it was interesting because I was doing some shows about food, and I could go and say, what is the spiritual meaning of beets, for instance? And so it gives me this whole list, and it's just great. But I've been posting about things that I find on AI and saying very specifically that I got it from AI. I haven't even, hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
I haven't even been messing with the text at all. I've just been saying, here's what Grok says, so that my followers know that it's Grok, but it's even thinking of the question. That's the thing that the human has to do anyway. So I just think AI has a lot of potential to open up our brains to use in different ways, instead
100%.
of going through all of Google and figuring out all the different spiritual things for me, for my content. Might as well have Grok do it. And then I get to talk about it with people and have people give feedback and learn. And so I love it. So I just wanted to say that I'm getting more used to AI
Nice.
in large part because of you, Madeline. So thank
Aw,
you.
thank you. Are you doing this directly in X using Grok that way?
Yes. And I'm cutting and pasting Grok's report and putting it in a post. But someone told me the other day I should screenshot it for some reason. I'm not sure why. There was something about, I don't know, making sure no one can mess with it or something.
I tell
I
you
don't know.
what, if you decide to use Magi, I just put in the, well, I didn't mean to do the ticker. Let me see. I have the, this is a live show, y'all. I have to make sure I click the right things. With Magi, you get all the different ones in one place. So what I love about Magi is like, oh, I want to use Grok for this particular chat. Then I can click on Grok. I can click on ChatGPT. I can change it up at any time, which is pretty cool. I like that. Also, Jim, Jim, this shows you, like, I hope this is answering your question. So really the difference between the $9 a month plan versus 99 is that you have one admin instead of unlimited admins, which really is no big deal, I don't think. And that's, I mean, that's for, look, if you have built a large community and you need some admins, then, I think the $99 a month plan is not going to be a big deal for you. But when you're starting off with something new or doing it more as a hobby, I think, one admin is no big deal. The transaction fee is different. So instead of the normal 2.9% transaction fee, it's 10%, because, and it doesn't mean you have to have a paid plan. You can have, like, both of my school communities are free, but I can, in the classroom, set up classes. I can do different things, or, have coaching. Like I do have, like, through this school, Social Media and AI Shortcut School, you can book a coaching call with me in there, and I have it set up through there. So, it'll be the 2.9% transaction fee taken out, which, is the industry standard. But if I'm on the $9 a month plan, it's going to be 10%. And then, as I mentioned before, the custom URL, you don't get that. And also on the $9 a month plan, there on the when you're in Skool, on somebody's on your page, it's going to have a little thing on the sidebar to suggest other communities, which I've seen it in action. Is no big deal. So, hopefully more people will be interested in checking out utilizing Skool instead of relying on Facebook groups. So just a thought for those that are, trying to figure out what they want to do with that, if they want to continue that. And then Jim also had another question. He said he's in the process of making a Substack. I am too, by the way. It's like Substack is exploding right now. Everybody is, used to be just mostly authors and journalists, but we're seeing because it has a community component to it, which I think is really cool. So he says that he's in the process of making his Substack his website and then using Skool as his community. I love that idea. So and they'll give him an option later if he wants to do something with his web address. I like that, Jim. I think it's a great idea. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Well, so does Jim have a website and a Substack and a Skool, 3 different places? Or he's going to start to rely on the Substack as his website?
It sounds like from this comment, and Jim, if you're still here.
Yeah, this question is for Jim.
He says he's in the process of making his Substack his website. So he has a website.
Okay, in lieu of a website, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which is an interesting idea. So
yeah,
I'd be definitely interested to see, like, what comes. But yeah, keep us posted, Jim, because I think that's really interesting and cool. Let's talk about. I mean, I know I love how these conversations are organic. That's the way I like to do things. So, but I do want to share what was, the big news that just happened literally last week while I was hosting this live stream. OpenAI made a huge announcement about, you may have heard about this whole ChatGPT Agent, which we've been hearing about this for a while. It was going to be a new thing that was coming to ChatGPT, where basically it could do all this stuff for you. It sounded like very strange. Wait, real quick, Jim said, yeah, that move his website to a Substack and then use Skool. I love that idea, Jim. Hold on, though. Real quick, let me tell you something, Jim. What some people do is with their Skool, you're allowed to send, you could take a post in your Skool and have it go out as an email to the entire community. So like, let's say, you've got 100 people on your Skool in your Skool group, and you do a post as the owner, you can click on a button at the bottom and have it send it. It will email to everybody that's in the community. You're allowed to do it once every 72 hours. So what some people do, instead of having a mailing list on MailChimp or Substack, they're using that feature so they can create a newsletter. So for those of y'all, because y'all are all here on Skool, you may have noticed the way I'm using that feature each week. Every week after this live stream, I do a post. Let me go get it real quick. I do a post in Skool, and I send it out as an email. So it goes out to everybody. Let me pull last week's so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I mean,
I like that. And everybody who joined your Skool community, you have their email. They need to provide an email when they join.
When they
you
join,
have it automatically.
Yeah, when they join,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
sign up for anybody's Skool
Yeah.
community, then you're providing your email
great.
address.
Mhm.
So for the owner of that Skool group, they do have access to that. So, but here's what's so cool. So when I send this out, so I do this recap. I'll be doing one probably. I usually do it like a day or two later. So but this was from last week from this live stream, and so basically I just take all the info. I'm just copying and pasting from my YouTube, because I put all this after we're done with this. Then I go into YouTube, and like last week, the YouTube video, this was the title and all of this was the description. And then I always put the links, what we talked about, I put the links, and then I thank our community members who joined. I tag y'all in here. So, and then here's the YouTube video of from last week. So I used to just do this as a regular post, but then I realized like, oh, I should be utilizing that feature where I can have this go out, because not everybody's going into Skool and that's a member is looking at all the posts, but why not let it be an email blast? So I really like that feature, but you can't overuse it. That's the beauty. Once every 72 hours is the maximum you can do. So I've only been using it like
That's
once a week.
good. So you can't spam us.
Exactly.
Also, though, the same exact wording that you have in Skool goes out as an email, but you can cut and paste that from YouTube and move it around. Because remember, it used to be if you post on Facebook and you cut and paste to different groups, you'd get dinged because the wording would be exactly the same. But when you're moving around from platform to platform, they don't care. Nobody notices. Right? I mean, I think some people hold back like repurposing, and I don't think they should.
I think repurposing is a smart way to go.
Yeah, I agree. And I just wanted to comment that, because cutting and pasting, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Some people are shy to do that.
Well, the thing is, I know, like, I love doing this live stream. This is like my thing I love doing every week. I know not everybody in the community can come be here. So I recap it on Skool, because, we have more people on Skool. And if they can't come here live, I'm just giving them this post of like, hey, here's what we talked about here. So this is the one from a few weeks ago with Skool announcing their $9 plan. Because what I love about Skool is when I put the links in here for all these, if it's a YouTube video, it'll automatically put it in here. It takes all the YouTube videos and will automatically put it in here, which is nice because it shows, the thumbnail, and then you can click on it right from here, and it just starts playing, which is super cool. So. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Also, Angel says they have a Substack and follow maybe 2 people and never used it after that. Self-hosted WordPress blog. They'll need to renew in a couple of weeks. Hardly written for it, as I was ill for a lot of the time. Not sure what to. Right now, Substack's. I've liked Substack for a very long time, but not everybody was using it. So I didn't want to have one for myself because it is hard to get people to go to a new thing. But now Substack, everybody's using it. Almost everybody now is like they've got the app, and so many celebrities use it now. So many journalists are using it now. I know Rachel can talk about this. At one point, it was mostly for authors. I mean, that's what it was designed for, right, Rachel? It was really geared for years. It was just known as the platform for authors.
Yeah, it started, I think, in response to Medium, which has been out forever.
Yes.
And I used to write a lot for Medium. They paid me pretty well, and then they dropped that whole program. And I just stopped writing there because I thought, well, I'd rather have the traffic come to my blog. But because they combined the newsletter aspect with the blog aspect, and now they're adding they've added notes, and potentially ads are coming. It's becoming its own little universe, really.
Yeah. It really is. It's really grown.
Yeah, because I think the thing with Medium is it goes out and your Medium subscribers see it, but your subscribers to your newsletter wouldn't see it unless you also sent it out as a newsletter, whereas Substack does both. You have the option. You can send things out as a newsletter, or this is what I'm doing for a lot of clients. They have a backlog of blogs that live somewhere else, whether it's on Medium or their site. And I'm bringing those over to their Substack, but you don't want to send those blog posts out to subscribers who've already received it, right? So you have the option of turning that off and just having it live on the Substack app. Think of it as a backlist. So you don't have to, I think that stops a lot of people because they think, oh, if I switch, then everyone's going to get all my previous newsletters that they've already seen. And that's not the case. Only if you push the button.
Interesting. And also with Substack, there's like the option to follow and or subscribe, right?
Yes.
Like there's two separate things. I've been a little confused by that because like I subscribe to somebody's newsletter, somebody I really like that teaches a lot of AI and social media, very similar to me. And then all of a sudden I get an email saying that she followed me. And I'm like, what? And I realized, oh, that's like a separate thing because I thought, at first I thought, wait a minute, she subscribed to mine? Because I have mine, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is just like a follower thing. So I think that can be confusing for people.
I think it is. And they need to kind of clear it up because you have what are called notes where you can follow people and they can follow you, right?
Right.
Notes, Substack notes is literally like Twitter. You can add a photo, and then you move on to the next thing, but you're not limited by 280 characters. And notes are indexed by Google. So they kind of really are covering all the bases with that, I think. But
are notes different than the main page of Substack, right? Because I keep going into my Substack and accidentally putting things in notes. So people aren't seeing my stuff.
Yeah. So you want to create a new post, you just click post. If you want to create a new note, you just click note. So it comes up, there's three little
confusing.
You click on that. And so you're probably just automatically clicking on notes in your account as opposed to a new post.
So Rachel, when I'm on your page here, got activity, posts, likes, and read. So
activity are notes. If you click
and you've restacked, I love this restack, which is kind of like, a retweet, right?
It is exactly like a retweet. But go over. So these are the things I've retweeted. If you go over to posts, click on that.
So that's your newsletter, right?
That's my newsletter.
These are the newsletter. Okay. So activity, that's just where you can just basically just share this. I mean, this would be like your X, right? Like your X feed.
This is your feed, your timeline. They just
you can put whatever you want, share other people's stuff, put your own thoughts. Post is your actual newsletter.
But people can reply to your post and your newsletter.
Yes.
You can have conversations still in the replies on that post.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you go live?
When you click the options to create something new, let me get into it. I can probably take a screenshot. Give me 1 second.
If you want to share your screen, you could do that.
Well, I'm trying to get to the dashboard. They changed their dashboard. So 1 second. Let's see.
So you need to change the title on this particular conversation to Skool and Substack.
I know, right? Yeah. How do I share my screen? And I'll show you real quick.
You should see like the little icon with the computer and the plus at the bottom.
Got it. Okay.
Also,
share.
Angel says unlimited characters and no blue tick needed. I should look at it again properly.
Blue tick? Is he talking about the blue check mark? We don't have to verify on Substack. They don't have that additional layer.
Do they have that, Rachel? Because I don't think I've seen that.
Can you see my screen now?
Let me see. I probably have to.
Our friend here, Jim, wrote an article on how to go live on Substack. He said,
Perfect.
Jim, put a link to it in the chat for us.
Well,
so I can look at it later.
Jim.
He's in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh. Come on the screen, Jim. Come on. We dare you.
We love for you to come on. I can say, well, I mean, we're already getting close. Jim, let me know in the future if you want to come on. I'll send you the link. Okay, here is Rachel's screen. So Rachel, walk us through, because we all could use a little course in this real quick.
Yeah. So
thank you for doing this.
Yeah, let me get to it. I got to find it now. There it is. Okay.
I see.
So you can create what they call a text post or a video post or an audio post. But here's where you would go. You want a new note. And that's what we were talking about. New chat thread or new live video. So that's the one you would want to click for live video. I mostly do text posts. You can also do a video post. You have the option. So the difference is that if you do a video post, it's very similar to a text post in that it'll go to your subscribers and it will also live on the Substack app. If you do a text post, you can still add video into a text post, whereas a video post is video only. So I hope that makes sense.
You can't combine. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But
they got audio posts. I see that.
They do have audio now. So you can do audio posts as well.
Yeah.
So if you clicked on that,
nice.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And thank you for your help too in the DMs last week about something too. I really appreciate your time. All of you guys are so great.
So go back to the Create New, because this is helpful. Go back to the Create New again so we can see all this.
Well, you said something about notes. I left and came back. You said something about notes.
Right. Let me go back to that. So if you want to create a new note, you just go here under Create New on your dashboard and click New Note.
What's a note versus a post?
A note is like a tweet. It's short and sweet. It's there to interact with people. Whereas a post would be like this.
The newsletter. That'd be the newsletter.
Yes, this is my actual newsletter where I've written all the stuff. I
think it's so confusing. I wish they would simplify this or explain it better, because it's really hard to understand.
Yeah, notes is like a chat going back and forth with people.
They should
but a post is like Facebook, like a real post, and people interact on it in the replies on that post.
It's interesting though, because you can create chats too, just to confuse.
Oh, for God's sake!
Even further. So think of notes and chats as social media, and that really should help you. And I think they have this line here, so I think they're trying.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think of the live video? I know that's newer, and when I first started seeing journalists use it several months ago, it wasn't that great, but it seems like it's gotten better.
It has gotten better. I don't do a lot of live video. I'm just too swamped. I'm here with you, and that's about all I do at this point, But
I might go live after this because I'm feeling camera ready.
I know. People seem to love it, so why not? I mean, I would love if audio spaces became as big as Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse. They kind of just said, oh, you can do audio now. And that's as far as it went. So I haven't really done that. I need to do more research.
Well, I'm getting so much from this conversation. I love it so much. Thank you, Madeline. But I just want to say too, if I disappear, it's because I do have a hard stop at the hour. But please know, if I disappear, I have to go.
No worries.
But I love this conversation. This has been so worth it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
And one more thing I want to mention, having to do with like live streaming, what Skool is working on right now, which I cannot wait. I'm chomping at the bit on this, to be able to live stream directly natively in Skool. And what I want to, like, I mentioned to y'all, I know I mentioned it last week. I think I've mentioned a few other times. I really want to have a separate school, be Madeline's Inner Circle. And it's going to be all about stuff like just private, like a paid community, but we could do stuff like this, but it'll be native live stream in there. So it'll be an all-in-one for everything. And I'm really excited about that because, otherwise you just have to have all these different steps, and it's eliminating steps. And I love that, because y'all know my motto, work smarter, not harder. Well, what's the best way to work smarter, not harder? Eliminate steps, make it easy, So I'm super excited that that's next on their list to do is native live streaming right inside of Skool. Jim says they go live on Substack with Dealcasters. That's cool, Jim. That's good to know.
So he uses a third party versus he doesn't go straight live at. So Substack is one of the places he goes lives.
Jim, what third-party tool are you using for Substack? Because he'd also said up in this other message about
Do you need a third party?
I don't think StreamYard does Substack. Oh, you could probably do it with that whole stream key thing. Jim, let us know.
RMPP,
sometimes when I go live, and then I'll just download
RTMP.
it and repurpose it elsewhere anyway, even if it's just to one. Yeah. Or Facebook, as long as they don't delete the live, if I grab it in time.
Yeah, StreamYard lets you do the RTMP.
RTMP,
you got to have that code. I'm just curious, Jim, since you definitely know more about this than we do. Yeah, StreamYard and Ecamm. Hey, so okay, I know we're probably not going to get to the whole ChatGPT agent thing. Jim, we really need you on screen. StreamYard has gone way up in price, as we've talked about here before, and my annual subscription renews. I think it's next month, maybe September. I don't have to go back and look. I'm really thinking about going back to Ecamm. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Because StreamYard was always a little bit pricey, but when they got their new owners last year, they almost doubled the cost.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm on the lowest paid plan, and it is not cheap. And now with the newer costs, it is crazy expensive. And I just don't even know, if it was for all the features you get on the higher tiers, maybe, but I think Ecamm is a much more economical choice. What are your thoughts?
Well, do you have Apple anyways?
Yes.
Okay. So
which means Ecamm is a good option.
Right. Another thing one I'm checking out is EV Mux, which has a lot of features and can go up against StreamYard.
You told us about that one.
Yeah. evmux.com, and check it out, because even their free version is like equal to some of the paid versions of StreamYard and Restream. Now there
Put
is
that in the chat, please. Put that in the chat.
There's
when you have time.
But it is less here, I'll put it in. It is less from a price perspective, it's less. So yeah. So hey, check it out, compare it to other ones, and I'm seriously considering it.
Why all of these other ones instead of Zoom?
You can do Zoom, but Zoom doesn't have the best quality, I think. But also, when Zoom back in the day, gazillion years ago, where live streaming, when Facebook Live was first starting and they added it, it's you had to have because I used to use Zoom. I used to use, what was it, Webinar? What was the other one from long before Zoom? Was it Webinar Pro? What was that one? No, Go Webinar. Who remembers that? That was pre-Zoom days. It was Go Meeting and Go Webinar.
Yes.
So for those, I know a lot of people didn't know what Zoom was until the pandemic. I was like, man, I was already using Zoom forever. That's how I did all my coaching consulting calls. And people are like, what's Zoom? But then at least with the pandemic, everybody now knew what Zoom was. And so it wasn't.
I wish they had spent more time improving it in the last few years. All these other ones are so much better. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah. I just use StreamYard if I'm doing one-on-one coaching consulting. StreamYard does the job. I can do it privately. I don't have to be on Zoom. But Go Meeting and Go Webinar, that's what we had back in the day, which were great. Yeah, actually, Ecamm Ecamm was how I first did podcasts, audio podcasts back in the day. When I started podcasting in 2013, everybody that was doing this at the time, we used Ecamm. It was just not Ecamm Live, but Ecamm. And you basically had your guests go on your Skype. You had to go meet on Skype, which was terrible. You think Zoom's bad quality? Skype was worse, but that was the technology at the time.
Wait. Skype had HD before anybody.
But this was before that.
Okay.
We're talking a long time ago. If you back in the early days of audio, like we're talking audio podcasts, like no video, before all the video stuff. It was you had whoever you're interviewing go on your Skype, you connect on Skype, and you used Ecamm to bring it all together and to record the audio. And you could do separate tracks. And then you could FTP your files, but that's what the technology used to be. And then, as all that evolved, looking back, some of us old time podcasters would be like, oh my God, we'd cringe thinking back, like Skype was just, at the time it was great, but the quality was just not there.
And I have to say, just especially for everybody watching right now, it is fun to look back at your content over the years and notice how it improves, right?
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. If you're feeling really creative, just go for it, even if it's not perfect. And what you have to say is more important than the packaging quite often. So don't be afraid. And as a creator, it's fun to look back and talk about cringe. You'd be like, oh, I really put that on Apple. But, get over it. It's okay. And people are very forgiving sometimes over time too. So it's okay if sloppy stuff is out there. It's all right. You don't have to be perfect all of the time.
No, that's just, exactly. Great point. Well, we don't really have time to get into the whole ChatGPT agent, but I'll play like a short little YouTube short I found that kind of talks a little bit about it. So at least everybody's aware. I haven't even had I literally just got it today. I haven't had time to play with it. I just wanted to kind of do an overview and discuss it a bit. I'm definitely going to play around with it. It kind of scares me a bit because it can just do everything for you. Like you can basically say, I want you to do this, this, and this, and schedule this and send the email. Like, I don't know. I'd want to make sure it's doing everything right, but let me play a real short video so you get an idea of what it's about.
You're going to be an expert by next week.
New update will
I probably will be by next week.
ChatGPT changed the world, but this new update will change your life. And I got early access to it. So here's what it is and how you can use it. It's called ChatGPT Agent, and it's what we've all been waiting for. AI that can actually do things on your behalf. Because now, instead of just answering questions, it takes your goal and then it figures out all of the steps to make it happen, and then it executes them. The agent can log into your calendar, find out when you're free, and book a restaurant on its own. It can pull financial data, build a model in Excel, and turn it into a full presentation. It shops for you, researches for you, builds for you, all in a browser that it controls. At any point, you can jump in to take over, but this is like having a genius on your team that you can assign tasks to at any time. I'm so excited about the future of AI and agents. Follow if you want to see more optimistic tech videos.
I think the young ones like that girl are excited about this because all they know is having a phone in their hand and doing all this cool stuff with technology. And us older folks, it's still just this wow factor of I can't believe it can really do all these things. But now this whole new level of let it just book all, just say, hey, I want you to go research. I want to go on this trip. This is where I want to go. And these are the dates. And it just figures it all out and books it. I don't know.
Yeah, that is very cool. I'm using something called Pickaxe, which is sort of like I can use whatever AI I want, but we call it actions or triggers. But
yeah,
it's interesting. So you have to pay for the pro version of ChatGPT to have access to that. Is that
so
correct?
I've got ChatGPT Plus, which is the $20 a month, and so when they released this last week, let me show y'all because I just saw it pop up on my ChatGPT today. So I'm on the Plus, $20 a month, and I know they initially launched this out to the Pro and whatever the higher tiers, and they said it was coming to the Plus users. And so sure enough, when I went in here this morning, you click on tools, all of a sudden here it is, agent mode, and it says new. Now, off to the side, it says 40 left, more available on August 23rd. So it sounds like for a month, I get to do this 40 times, I guess, or I can do 40 chats with, that part I don't know yet.
Maybe 40 actions. So
Actions.
maybe,
Could be actions, yeah.
or triggers, whatever you call it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like this is taking, like when we think of like actions and stuff, we think like Zapier and tools like that, where you can like direct and say, do this, and then, or I don't know if anybody here remembers like I do, since I'm a super techie. Who remembers back in the day, way before Zapier, where it was IFTTT, if this then that.
Yeah. If this then that.
That was the most genius website ever. And what was that? That was like, what, 20 years ago? It was a long time ago. Oh my, that was the best thing ever. The best thing ever. So basically, it was what it said. If this, then that. I think it's still around. You tell it to do, if this happens, then do that. So it was a pre-Zapier. It was ifttt.com.
If
I'm pretty sure it's still,
yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. Let me pull it up and show y'all.
I used to pay $2 a month for it, and I would never use it, so I just did away with it. I'm sure the price has changed.
If this, then that. So yeah, automation. So this is what we had way back. I love this. Like, I used to use a lot of the Twitter ones. Like, here, tweet your Instagrams as a native photos on video on Twitter. Update your Android wallpaper with NASA's image of the day. So it's just basically, if this happens, then do that. And I remember they just kept growing all the tools. So like basically, you could just design anything. And I mean, I don't think I ever paid for it. I did the free account forever. But isn't it interesting that's still around? Yeah, they have the free forever account.
$2. Yep.
Okay, so on the free, you get 2 applets. Used to be like you can do everything for free, but that was always a great tool. But that was, pre-Zapier. But I feel like now with this whole ChatGPT agent is going, like, everything just keeps evolving. And it's like, okay, is this going to like really start replacing jobs?
It will. In fact, I was on a conversation around HR. It's already replacing some of the lower end tasks, which I'm okay with. It just makes you more efficient. I think we all need to be looking at whatever you discipline or function or career you're at. Hey, what part of my job can I automate that I hate doing because it's so mundane? Come on, that stuff needs to be automated, and you should always be thinking about that, whether you had AI or not, right? And
absolutely. I mean, it's just part of this new progress. I'll just show you a little bit of the information that they put out, and this just kind of just shows you these little examples. Like, the agent runs the code, like it's just doing all this stuff, connects to your apps, reviews your recent emails and summarizing your inbox for the day.
Yeah.
Checking your schedule to confirm availability for dates selected. Create slideshows and spreadsheets. I think this is really interesting. It's scary, but interesting. I actually was being very meta. I went into ChatGPT to have it explain, just give me the short version of what is this. And this is what it said. ChatGPT just got a serious upgrade. It's not just a chatbot anymore. It's now like having your own digital employee. The new agent feature can actually control your computer, navigate websites, fill out forms, write code, analyze data, manage emails, and even create full slide decks or reports automatically. Think of it like this. Instead of asking ChatGPT to write you an email or a blog post, now you can say, research my top 5 competitors, build a report, and email it to my team. And it's going to do it. So right now it's available for ChatGPT Plus Pro and Team users. And you'll find it under tools at the agent mode, like I just showed y'all. This is a major game changer for productivity, and early adopters are using it to replace hours of admin work every day. So I'm going to play around with it. I'm a little scared, but I've also, let me show y'all, because there was another short video I can play real quick before we go, where a girl was showing how she was trying this out, and it was doing, like, she's literally showing on her phone, like, what it was, like she was video it. Here,
it's really interesting. Anthropic. Go ahead and run your video.
It's insane. It's creating a new label. Creating a new label is high value sponsorship, and it's doing it right. It's labeling this one correctly. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I like that you can watch it run.
I'm starting a draft, but it's not going to send it because I didn't ask it to. That's writing it. What is it going to say? My screen is disgusting. Okay, hold on. Good. It's just starting a simple draft. Okay, but it's not sending it. Yeah, that's correct. Little ChatGPT.
I like that you can watch it, make sure it's doing it right. So that, I don't know, it seems like there's just unlimited what you could do with it. So I'm going to play around with it a bit just to see cautiously what all it can do. I'll report back next week. I'm just excited that, I knew they were working on it, but also, a lot of the AI tools have these tools feature where you can connect your Gmail, your Google Calendar, all your different things. I know Anthropic does that. I've been wanting to play
Anthropic
with that.
writes code. So those people came from OpenAI and they started Anthropic. And so it's interesting to see these different tools. They outdo each other, then the other one outdoes the other
Yeah.
person, and they're just going at each other. And it's good for us, that competition, right? Because Claude's been writing code for a bit here, and now finally ChatGPT catches up, and it's gonna see what's the
It's
next thing.
always this race
Yeah.
with them, right? It's like one kind of inches ahead and the other one, like this is back and forth. I don't know when the agent feature will come out to all the free users. But as soon as I find out, I'll let y'all know. I'm sure there'll be parameters as to how much you could use with it. But I'm going to definitely try it out and see what things I could cut out of admin work that I do,
I think a lot. And you just take your own workflow, map
Yeah,
it out, and then
exactly. Actually, be very meta about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on my phone, tap the little button on ChatGPT, have my little usual conversation, and I'll ask it to help me think like, my workflow, what I'm doing every day. What could I use the ChatGPT agent for? I think one of the things with AI that I think too many beginners get so wrapped up with that keeps them stuck is that they keep feeling like they have to have the perfect prompt. So they gotta learn fancy prompts. It's like, I don't even do, you know what I do? I love to just do it on my phone, tap the button, and I just start talking. And through our back and forth discussion, because it's like a person when I'm talking to it, figure stuff out as we go. And then it'll ask me questions and we just keep building on it so that the perfect prompt comes through. But I think, trying to figure out what's that perfect prompt from the start, that's not necessary.
Madeline, I don't freak out about perfect prompts anymore, because they used to have like, buy this cheat sheet for $20. I listened to a podcast with Michael Stelzner where somebody came and said, you know what I have the AI do? I put my dirty prompt, then I ask it to optimize it, show me
Yeah,
the prompt,
make it better.
and then I'll give it command whether I want it to run or not. And like when I've done that, it's like, damn, that prompt is better than what I would have thought of, right? So
Yeah,
I just give it dirty, and they come out with a really nice prompt, and I can tweak it if I want. And
absolutely.
it's 10 times better than what I would have thought of.
Mike has a great podcast. That's the AI Explored you were probably listening to. It's really good. Well, and another thing you can always, this is actually something to always be doing when you are like trying to prompt or trying to figure out what you want to do. Also ask it, what am I missing?
Yes.
That is so powerful because you're going to miss stuff. ChatGPT is going to, or whatever AI tool is going to miss stuff. So don't forget somewhere further in, say, what's missing? What am I not thinking of? That's been really powerful.
That is a powerful question. Even before AI, what question did I not ask that I should be asking?
Yeah. That'll be our parting words for today as we wrap up. Well, I'll definitely play around more with the ChatGPT agent and report back next week. I do want to try to see what could it do from start to finish in the process, and I'm comfortable with, that it could alleviate work hours. That could be
Yes.
huge. And this could be really huge for those of us that are solopreneurs, where we do everything ourselves or most things. Just like how last week I went through and show you all my workflow, my new workflow process of getting better YouTube thumbnails. And before I was spending so much time on this, it's like there's got to be a better workflow for me to have. But I'm also wondering if the ChatGPT agent could do more with that now. I want to kind of experiment with images and see. So I'll let y'all know. We'll see y'all here next week. Always great seeing everybody. Thank y'all, Rachel, Barb, Bez, and everybody else who was here. Barb's been quiet today because she's also tuning into a discussion with Meta. So she is rocking 2 live streams today at the same time. Love it. So, all right, y'all, we'll be back next week. We'll see you then. Thank you. And then, Rachel, I still want you to come talk about your other things. Maybe we can do it next week. Had some stuff for Rachel to talk about this over on Skool. If you go to our Skool, it's there. I was just going to have her share in further detail about it. So skool.com/Madeline Sklar. Join us there. All right, y'all. See y'all next week. Have a great rest of your day. Always great hanging